I got some black walnut and I got some elm here. And I'm going to resaw them into thinner pieces because they're pretty thick, 1/2-inch pieces. And then I'm going to use those for coasters. So I'm going to show you what I do. I have it on the bandsaw here. I have a fence set up, and then I just run it through and resaw it. You want to make sure your bottom's nice and flat because that's where it's going to be sitting, on the bottom. And you want to make sure your fence is square with your table and your blade to make sure you get a nice consistent cut. For what we're doing for the coasters, if it's a little off, we got to sand anyway. I mean, if it's a lot, then that's a problem. But if it's only a little bit out, it's going to be fine. But they're running pretty consistent. So let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, I have the fence set up here. Here's our blade. I have my square. You want to make sure you're square with the table and the fence. Make sure your blade's square with the table. Okay, if your blade's not square, it's not going to cut square. And we're pretty good shape here. I have this all adjusted. I'm going to turn this on. You're going to hear some noise because it's a little loud. You want to also make sure you have a block of wood, so when you're pushing through, your fingers aren't in the way. And you want your blade guard down as low as you can. We can only go right where I have it set. That's about where we need it. But the lower you have it, the more consistent your cut's going to be also. It's going to make a nice straight cut. I'll bring it right in. Pieces for the coasters. Now you can cut this is too big for the form I'm putting it in. So I'll just take and I'll just cut it into a couple pieces, and then we'll set them down through the form to give them the look we need. So let me go ahead and turn this on, and we're going to cut them into pieces. Give us our pieces, and I'll show you how I set them up in the form. Now, I lay them out in the form like this. So I have the form full of wood, and then the epoxy will go in between, and then it's easier to sand this as a whole strip, and I'll show you that later. But you lay them out, make sure they all work out. They don't have to be in any particular order. Just lay them in here, and then I'll show you how to clamp them. I have to silicone this mold, so I'm going to silicone the mold, then we'll clamp these in, and it'll be ready to pour. We'll have to put some wax for release, and we'll be ready to go. I have coasters set up in the form. I already siliconed the seams, and I put the paste wax on the form. I have my pieces of wood already in the form. I like to use these spring clamps. 1 spring clamp per piece of wood. That'll keep it down nice and tight. I have tried other stuff in the past. I have tried like siliconing the wood down. It was a disaster. So the best way I found is these spring clamps. Just goes right to the form, and it's good. I like to pour 1 long piece. It's easier to sand. So let's go ahead, and I'll move the camera over here a little bit. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to pour these black walnut pieces. I think I'm going to do them red, and then I'm going to do these ones black. The elm wood, I'm going to use black, and the black walnut I'm going to use red. So let me go get the red. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pour the red in. I just go over here. Just let it run around. Fill the form up as much as you can. Probably should have some plastic down. Now I want to start using black also, so I'm going to, okay, that's pretty full. So I got the red there. I don't know, I'm going to start pouring the black in here because I want the black, but I want the red here. I don't know. I might have to just go with black. Here's what I should have put a stop there, but I didn't. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and pour some black in here. I'm going to pour some red. I'm going to try to keep these separate. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I think the black's overtaken. But we'll try to... This might be black and red here. It might be a mix. I don't know. There's not much we can do with it. It's actually not doing too bad. I keep pushing it. So, okay. We have the red. You might have to add a little more red. You want to make sure our form's nice and full. And the wood's just a touch higher than the form, which that's okay, because we're going to sand it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue pouring the black.